When you're talking about the best striker in Blue Lock, there are mainly only 3 names that come up: Isagi, Shidou, and Rin. These 3 players are thought to have the most skill throughout Blue Lock and pretty much have the highest potential out of anyone that is in the facility. But in this video, we'll only be focusing on 2 of these characters, which is of course Rin and Shidou. These 2 characters' skills are very highly debated, and not everyone really agrees on who's better as a pure striker. And in this video, I plan to go very in depth on who's actually better, and go over both of their skills and weaknesses to come to a true conclusion on who is the best striker in Blue Lock. But before we begin the video, I'd like to say that if you enjoy this type of content, make sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel, and also think about joining my channel membership where you can join my members only Discord server. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Starting off with Rin, his skill mainly comes from his kicks, from what we first see from him, where he's able to shoot on a high and also kick another ball with a fast curve on a low trajectory back to back, showing that he not only has insane power but also has insane control over his kicks and is definitely developed well in Blue Lock. And at this moment, Isagi even says that he perfectly used these 2 different kinds of kicks. We soon learn that the reason that Rin is able to get this good at soccer is because he views it as a battlefield rather than just simply a game. Because of the way he views the game and how he evolves, he's able to easily tell the skill levels of other players off of just one play, which is shown in the Team Red vs Team White match, and he also once again shows his amazing shot power, being able to score an amazing goal from the midline of the field on the Blue Lock's goalie. And mind you, this doesn't even faze Rin at all. He acts like it's just in a day's work and just says, let's get this over with. This is seriously a waste of his time. Showing that even while suppressed in the second selection of the Blue Lock games, he's able to show displays of skill that reign supreme over anyone we've seen before this. We also see in this match that Rin has amazing speed and foresight, being able to not only completely see through Isagi's plays multiple times, but also get to his shooting spot before he could. And he even goes as far as calling Isagi painfully obvious. Rin's shooting skills don't even stop at being able to score from the midline, but he's also able to score from a corner kick position. And while everyone is sweating in the game, Rin and Ryu both haven't even dropped a single bead of sweat. And even while he's not even sweating, he's able to lure people like Isagi, who has amazing vision at this point, into false senses of security, completely and easily manipulating him as well as the entire field while he's on it. So he's not only able to see into Isagi's vision, but he's also able to manipulate the field in a way that Isagi is drawn into Rin's own vision of the field's future, allowing him to completely control the field and destroy Isagi's team with this final goal, which completely captivates Isagi with his amazing parabola, giving Isagi's team a beautiful send-off. Now for Rin's first match, there's a lot to take in here. He truly has amazing kicking, vision, and speed, which will be hard for Shidou to counteract, but let's see how Shidou does in his first match. Now around the time that Rin was destroying Isagi and his team, Shidou was actually fighting Kunigami and Ryo alongside Igaguri. The match starts off and Ryo has the ball, and Shidou immediately rushes in to go guard him, and Ryo actually says that he's fast, and he might be an instantaneous speed type of player. After Ryo passes the ball to Kunigami, Shidou says a side pass at this distance, guess that's where you're at. And to me, this kind of implies that Shidou might have the same ability as Rin, being able to dissect an opponent's skill just by one play. And while Kunigami rushes in to go overpower Igaguri since he's bigger than him, Shidou comes out of his blind spot and pushes him into a 2-man press, allowing Igaguri to gain the ball. And this next scene kind of confirms what I was talking about earlier, where Rin and Shidou are both able to dissect the abilities and skill of a player just by seeing them play once. After getting the ball, Shidou says that he's got a boring purple top knot who's above average but puts too much emphasis on balance, and a hero who's got nothing but a middle shot. And he seems pretty disappointed while saying all this, showing that they're not even on his level. And we see that someone even as physically gifted as Kunigami isn't able to fully press Shidou, and Shidou's able to easily get out of his press, and Kunigami says he doesn't even budge. And Kunigami goes on to say that he has speed, power, and discernment, and he can't find any weaknesses in Shidou. Shidou then gets a pass from Igaguri, and the pass is coming from behind Shidou, so Kunigami thinks that he has no choice but to turn around. But Shidou ends up jumping up in the air and doing a scorpion kick, scoring his first goal. We don't get to see the rest of this match, but we do know that Shidou ended up winning, of course, and this match honestly was a great display of power. And from what we see from both of these players in the selection, we would have to say that Rin is a little bit better, and top players such as Ego Jinpachi would agree with us, since he does say that during this time, Rin was indeed their top player. Now don't get me wrong, they are definitely very close in power at this point in time, and I even think that while Rin's overall vision may be a little bit higher than Shidou's, that Shidou's goal vision might be a little bit better than Rin's, since he's able to make insane goals like the scorpion kick without even looking at the goal. And we do learn later that this is one of his special abilities. I don't think Rin has anything to really compete with this, since it is pretty OP, but as a striker overall, I guess we have to give it to to Rin. But they are very close in power at this point in time, and it'll only get more interesting as we move on. Moving on to the third selection's final assessment, Shidou versus Rin is actually pretty lined out for us, since all the games that we see them play is just them trying to assert dominance over the other. And Shidou in this game actually shows his skill first by scoring the first goal, but this was no ordinary goal. Shidou was surrounded by multiple opponents, and the goal was behind him, so once again Isagi had the thought process that Shidou would just keep the ball. But immediately as Shidou gets the ball, he shoots it without even looking at the goal once again, and scores it completely and flawlessly. And he even has Isagi pondering if he can score from any position. And after this goal, Karasu says that Shidou's defense and plays are both second tier, but his physical abilities are totally focused on scoring goals when he's in the goal box. After this, Rin quickly makes his clap back at Shidou, and while Rin's being guarded by Otoya, he exploits Shidou's movements and calling for a pass, and uses him as a bait in order to clear his own opening to the goal, and scores the second goal for his team. And in this moment, Rin actually used a form of predator vision, where he waited for the perfect moment that he'd be out of the goalie's view in order to score his perfect shot, creating his own blind spot, and this even leads to Shidou calling him amazing. The next time we see an important play from Rin or Shidou is when Hiyori passes the ball to Rin, but Shidou ends up getting to the same place at the same time as Rin, showing that these two are pretty relative in speed, and they end up crashing into each other, allowing the other team to score a goal pretty easily. And after this, Isagi says that Rin is able to read the entire field to draw the optimal circumstances, and Shidou just follows his own intuition into pursuit of the supreme, showing that they both have the same answers but different processes, so they can't work together well in the same field. The next person to get a goal is Shidou, and after getting the ball from Isagi, and Isagi once again believes that since Shidou's back is turned, that he'll pass the ball instead of trying to score. But of course, due to Shidou's amazing senses, he's able to score a goal. But this goal is extraordinary even for someone like Shidou. Shidou made this drive shot while rotating on his own axis and being super inverted and low on the floor. And Isagi even says that in the penalty box, he's completely unrivaled. The next person to score a goal is Rin, who is actually able to overpower Karasu and tie the game up 4-4. But the final person to score a goal isn't Shidou or Rin, and it ends up actually being Isagi Yoichi, who surpassed both of them for a moment by trusting all of his reflexes. But in this game, Shidou and Rin are still portrayed to be pretty relative in skills. I mean, even in the last goal, they're in the same position, but they both end up getting beat by Isagi. Not only that, but they also have the same amount of goals. But to answer the question of who's actually better, we first actually have to go to the second match that they played in. For this game, we don't see too much, but the most important thing to note is that Rin got 2 goals, but we don't know if Shidou got any. And in the fourth match, which is actually off screen, that Shidou and Rin both made 2 goals. And the last thing I want to bring up for this selection is that in the final match of this selection, Rin is actually able to get a goal off while Shidou is trying to actively stop him. Now, in my own opinion, this game just solidifies even more that Shidou is unmatched in the penalty area, which is stated multiple times. So that aspect definitely goes to Shidou, but as an overall player, I still do have Rin a little bit above him, with them both averaging the same amount of scores, but Rin actually scoring 1 more goal than him in the selection matches. Rin just seems to do a little bit better in every match that they play. But that is kind of supposed to be the narrative for Shidou and Rin, that while Rin is a very calm and calculated person, Shidou just does things by instinct and it ends up working because he's a true genius. Their entire rivalry is basically just the tale of 2 geniuses. And once again, Ego Jinpachi agrees with me, although for different reasoning. Ego calls Rin their top player and even picks him for the center forward of the U20 game. And when asked by Yuki Mio why Shidou wasn't chosen, Ego says that Shidou displayed abilities as a striker that are second only to Rin, but because his goals were all brought by individual skills, he has no chemistry with Rin and they'll never be able to make a chemical reaction, leading to Rin being chosen over Shidou and Rin being dubbed the best striker of the third selection's final matches. But even though he chose Rin, that doesn't prove the end of Shidou, since Seitoshi actually chose Shidou for his striker in the U20 game, which leads me to the next arc of the series, the U20 arc. In this game, Shidou was only subbed in on the second half, so we'll skip right to that to get to the most important parts. And as soon as the first play starts, Seitoshi has the ball and Shidou begins going on a rampage, doing a bunch of unpredictable moves and ignoring both teams' formations, throwing the entire field into chaos. And after Sei passes it to Shidou, he almost scores a goal, but is stopped by Nico, who fouled Shidou in order to stop him from scoring. The game begins again with a free kick and Shidou pretending like he's gonna kick it, but feigning out of it, allowing Sei to kick the ball. And without even watching the ball come towards him, Shidou was able to get the ball since Sei passed it with such accuracy, passing it just centimeters above Chigiri's arrival and allowing Shidou to score his first goal in the game. After getting another pass from Seitoshi, he's able to score another dragon drive scorpion shot, just like the first goal we see him make. And this shot, along with the guidance from Sei, allowed him to enter his flow state. Eventually, due to Rin's frustration about not being able to stop his brother, it allows him to go into overdrive and begins playing way better than before and being able to read the field on another level, even allowing him to stop Shidou and Sei's coordination and stop a goal from Shidou. But just being able to see Shidou and Rin's movements and plays isn't enough for Rin, and because he's still relying on blue lock, he's able to enter flow state because of his own weakness. And his only goal in this state is destroying Sei, allowing Rin to destroy his old self and enter the flow state, which surprises even Sei. In this state, Rin is able to easily see through opponents and destroy them, and is even able to destroy people that are physically more powerful than him. And if we're being honest, he even would have beat Aiku, the U20's best defender, if Shidou had not come into the mix. Before Shidou came in, Aiku had no idea what Rin is going to do, and even said that he could not beat that guy. But even with Shidou in the mix, their odds of winning were only at 50%, and even with both Aiku and Shidou on him, he's able to almost score a goal. But with 1 minute left on the clock, the game ironically ends with Rin versus Sei on a one-on-one battle. Their battle is very brief, but when they begin playing, Sei can't seem to shake Rin off. And eventually, Rin is able to even get over on Sei and read him, allowing him to get the ball from under Sei. And of course, we all know what happened after that. Isagi won the final goal and ended the game. But to answer the question of who's better between Rin and Shidou in this game is kind of hard. Now, both of them in their base form is kind of hard because not only does Shidou have the help of Seitoshi on the side, but Rin also didn't do much in his base form. So which one is better overall in individual skill is kind of hard to say. But I'd honestly still probably lead towards Rin, because in chapter 120, Rin was actually able to score a goal on the U20 team with his amazing individual talent. But if we're talking about both of them in flow states, it's a little bit different. Now in their flow states, we kind of see different things from both of them. And while Rin shows his overall amazing striking abilities on everything except for, kicking the ball, Shidou only really shows his ability to kick the ball. And because we're trying to see who's the truly best striker overall, I kind of have to go with Rin because he shows better abilities overall in his flow states, with him being able to destroy all the defenders, including Aiku, who says that he couldn't even beat him. And even with Shidou in the mix, it was only a 50-50 coin toss. And also, of course, his battle with Sei. But that's all I have for today. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel. Some make blog content, and also consider joining my channel membership to join the Discord server. But yeah, goodbye.